Hi everyone, welcome to Just the Two of Us. My name is Colleen. Today we're going to make a garden salad that I call a garden salad, but I think it's better known as pregnancy pickles because it lasts up to 9 months in your fridge. But it's not going to last 9 months in your fridge. It's way too good. I've made it twice within a couple of weeks span because it's so good. And it makes a substantial amount on top of it. So the basis of this recipe is mainly cucumbers, but I have made it with half the amount of cucumbers. I throw in any and all vegetables I want. It's just the basis of the amount of vegetables versus the brine. It's a non-cooked brine. You just mix it up cold, pour it over the vegetables. You put the salad in the fridge for 24 hours, and voila, you have the most delicious salad slash pickles. I don't even want to call it pickles because it's literally just a marinated salad. The only thing is, you're supposed to do it in a gallon jug or a large container. And this year, by accident, I used all my gallon jugs or my big jugs to do my water glassing with my eggs. And I forgot to leave one to do this salad. So I'm going to have to improvise with these guys because it's the only thing I have with a wider mouth. I have larger jars that have the smaller mouth, and that's not going to work. So we're going to figure it out together today. I'm going to have to do it in smaller increments and hope it works just the same, that I can get the right amount of brine into each jar. So we're going to start right away. And like I said, the basis is mainly cucumber, but I'm going to throw anything and everything into it, and I will give the correct what everything is supposed to be of the recipe in the description of this video. Now, it says not to peel your cucumbers, and the first time I did it, I didn't, but I found the peels, the, um, the skins get harder over time. So I peel mine, but you can leave them, or you can do like, like where you do like part of it peeled and it would look pretty in the jar. But I peel mine. It's just a personal preference. And this guy got cold in the fridge, so I think the chickens are going to benefit from him. So all I do is chop away. I'm going to get a big bowl, put everything in. Now I wanted to show you these guys. I was gifted these two cucumbers. They're not zucchinis, they're cucumbers. Somebody I know grew these in their greenhouse, and I didn't want to offend him, and I said, aren't they bitter because of the size of them? Like they're way too big for a cucumber. And he said, no, they were meant to grow that big. So I tasted one. He gave me one to taste, and he's correct. They're not bitter, but they're not as sweet or as fresh as a regular size cucumber. So I don't particularly enjoy eating them just like that, but they're perfect for a recipe like this. So I have two of them. I'm going to chop these two up just for this purpose. I will take out the seeds though, because they're pretty seedy at this point, but I have never seen such gigantic cucumbers like this in my life. So I'm going to show you everything that I'm going to put in. The recipe calls for 9 cups of sliced cucumber with the peel on, but I take it off. 2 medium onions sliced. It says 2 green peppers sliced. I don't use green pepper. I'm going to use other peppers. And it says 1 red pepper. And that's all the vegetables. But you'll see what I do. And you can put any other vegetable in that you want, or you can omit those ones if you don't like them and add something else if you prefer. So see, it's kind of wee bit seedy for me. I'm going to get a spoon. And it's not bitter. It just doesn't have like that really fresh garden taste, but it's perfect for a situation like this. So I'm just going to chop him up. I'm not going to make you watch me do all the vegetables, so I'll just go over quickly the ones that I'm doing, and I'll chop up the rest while I'm off camera. So I just have a banana pepper here from the garden. I'm just going to chop up one of these. This is such a good salad. But don't try it, don't taste it, don't eat it till the 24 hours are up. And when you open your fridge the next morning, you're going to go, what happened to all those vegetables I put in there? Because it's going to shrink substantially. Now, I'm using a Cubanelle pepper instead of a green pepper. It's just a sweeter green pepper. So I just used a banana pepper. I'm going to use this Cubanelle. You don't have to be fancy how it's cut. I'm keeping the pieces pretty thin and chopped, so it's easier to grab on your fork when you're eating it. So I'll probably throw a few of those into it. I'm taking a bit of a red pepper that I have, because the colors too, the more color you add to it, the better. It doesn't say at all to put in any type of tomato, but I am adding cherry tomatoes because I have a surplus of them, and also they look amazing in the salad. So I'll put some red pepper in, and I don't even think I'm going to cut them because they're kind of small, and then the seeds will float all through the salad and everything. So I have red pepper, Cubanelle, banana pepper, and then I'm going to put some onion. And the onion, this isn't from my garden because we had a horrible harvest, but this is from a farmer. The onion I'm going to slice as thin as I can and just keep it in little strips. And then I'll chop up these strips just a little bit. It said 2 medium onions. I'm not going to make it too oniony. I'll just give them a rough chop down the middle. All right, so I'm going to finish cutting up all the vegetables. I'm going to put them in a big bowl and show you what it's all going to look like. And then we'll make the non-cooking brine, put it into our jars, and then we have our salad. Here's my beautiful bowl of vegetables. So I add vegetables that they don't call for, but I think it's beautiful and pretty, all from the garden except the red or purple onion. So I ended up doing about 7 cups of cucumber and then several peppers. I threw in cherry tomatoes, and then I ended up cutting up some small tomatoes that I had. I did the banana pepper, Cubanelle, and red pepper, and it's beautiful. So now we're going to make the brine, a cold brine that calls for 2 cups of white distilled vinegar, 3 cups of sugar, oy, there it is. I thought I couldn't find it. So 3 cups of sugar, there we go, 1/4 cup of salt, I'm using sea salt. You don't have to worry, this isn't getting canned or anything, so you can use any salt you want, but I'm using sea salt. One tablespoon of celery salt. Oh, I find these package things so hard to open. Should have done it already. There we go. And they didn't bring so many things in the dishwasher right now. Okay, a tablespoon of celery salt. It's a really tasty brine too. It's a nice balance of the vinegar and sugar. Okay, a tablespoon of celery salt and a tablespoon of celery seed, and that's all the brine is. Pretty sure most people already have this on hand. Whoops. Celery seed. And that's it. 2, 4, 5 ingredients. So I'm going to give this a good mix. And I tend to make this recipe more towards the end of the summer because at this point in the summer, I've already preserved a lot of my peppers. Like I've already frozen a lot. I've already done a lot of things with my tomatoes. We've had cucumbers till we're like, cucumbers every day. So this way it gets us to eat up the excess vegetables coming out of the garden in a different way. And obviously we enjoy it. We love it. It's a different way of eating a salad when you've been eating all kinds of salads all summer long. And it keeps for a long time. So if we don't want to have it every day, it stays in the fridge until we eat it the next time. And it's a great salad if you have to bring something to a dinner, to a potluck or whatever. You can make it the day ahead. All right. Now the recipe says to layer it in the jar. I've never done that, and I don't know the purpose of it, to put the cucumber in first, but I just mix it all up because I want it to look prettier like that in the jar. So, and I've never not done it all in one jar, so I'm going to have to be very careful how I'm dividing up the brine so it all works well, because the brine has to work. Oopsie. The brine has to work, like I said, overnight. It's going to like really shrink all the vegetables and everything. So I'm going to get as much in each of these jars as I can. And then I have to divide up the brine properly. It even smells good just like this. Pack it down a bit. Isn't that pretty? No cooking required. There. All right, I'm going to fill up my other jars and we'll see how much I get. Maybe just 3 jars. Be right back. I divided it equally between the 3 jars. Like, I've never done it this way. I usually do it all in that big glass gallon jar. And then you let it sit in the fridge and all the vegetables shrink and it all sits in one jar. So I'm hoping, I don't see why it wouldn't work this way. So the brine made 4 cups. I have 4 cups in here divided by 3. So each one should get 1 1/3 cups of brine. So that's what I'm going to do. And I guess we'll find out tomorrow how this is going to work. So I'm going to cover it with 1 1/3. Or maybe you'll never see this video if it doesn't work. I don't know. We'll see. 1 1/3. All I know is it shrinks tremendously. There's that one. And then I guess maybe when it shrinks, I can consolidate the jars that way. And 1 1/3. Perfect. And if it works, and you do like it, and you wanted to bring it somewhere, you could make one for yourself and bring one to wherever you wanted. All right, so I'm just putting on, these are used lids. I don't have to put on new ones. So fingers crossed, these will go in the fridge for 24 hours. Don't touch them for 24 hours. Fingers crossed it works like this. I don't know. We're going to find out, and I'll bring you back tomorrow, and we'll see if it worked. See you then. Well, it turned out it's 24 hours later, and it worked. And the reason I was worried that it wouldn't work is because it's very important that you have the correct amount of brine to cover the vegetables. That's why it's supposed to be done in one container, I guess, because the brine has to cover the vegetables to shrink them like this so they preserve for the 9 months, even though it's not going to last the 9 months. So it did exactly what it's supposed to do, whether it's in a big container or not. But if you divide it like I do, it's important that you measure out the brine appropriately. So it turned out exactly like it should. And it's going to taste great. So I don't understand in the recipe while it said to layer it, because then, to me, can you imagine in a big jug, if you layered it with the cucumber at the bottom and then layered your other vegetables, you would have to like dig to the bottom to get a bit of everything. So I don't know. I just mixed them all up. And another thing I think that would go really good in this, but I don't think it should be in it for the 9 months. I can see like a good feta cheese in here or something like that. I love feta cheese, so it's absolutely pretty, and it's really, really good. So this is that cucumber. I'm picking one in specific that wasn't like the tastiest from that cucumber I was given. And it's absolutely perfect in this. Right. I always feel obliged to do a taste test, but then it's so rude to eat in front of people. I just love this brine. It's a nice balance between sweet and salty. Absolutely love this. See, I feel so rude eating in front of you. Anyway, this is an awesome garden salad or pregnancy pickles. It's going to keep for a long time. Like I said, it's great if you have to bring a side or a dish to somewhere that you're going. Especially, it travels really well if you make it like this, or you could make it in a big bowl with a snap-on lid, anything like that. But we really enjoy it, and it's a great way, I feel, towards the end of the gardening season, when I've already preserved up a lot of the things that I need. And right now I'm kind of just throwing the leftovers of everything all together, and it makes a wonderful salad. So I hope you give it a try as always. And so grateful for the time that you spend with me. And until we're together again, take care.